Hey guys, we recently did a video about how people in Japan use Facebook. Something maybe a little bit different about the way they use it to what it might be used in some other countries, maybe. So just an extension of that, something that we didn't sort of talk about in that video that has sort of come up since, well, it comes up all the time actually, and it's the avatars that people use for their Facebook account. And we sort of did touch on that a little bit about how quite often Japanese people will have their back of their head as their avatar, or their favourite meal, some tasty looking pasta or some noodles or something will be their avatar, because they're a bit shy about having their face on Facebook. Yeah, shy about having their face on Facebook, so they'll have a plate of pasta instead, or a plate of a bowl of noodles, or some tasty thing they ate somewhere, or a sunset or something. And we also talked about how often you'll see pictures on Facebook too of group shots, of people doing the group shot thing. But what was really interesting, that didn't sort of touch on in that video, is you also see people who, for their avatar, will actually have a pair of people, two people in their avatar picture, side by side. And quite often, if it's young ladies, usually it's a purikura picture from the purikura. It's the electronically enhanced pictures. So in other words, they take a photo. There's some booths that they use that they can do it in. Some of them have cameras that can do it as well, or apps for their phone that they can do it as well. So they take the photo and then they do things to it. So usually they make their eyes bigger, change the colour of their eyes, change the colour of their hair, sort of make themselves almost like a manga version of themselves, or a stylized version of themselves, which it's almost disguising themselves in a way, because by the time they're finished, often it looks nothing like them. I mean, quite often you get a message on Facebook from somebody and you go, who's this, and you look at the picture and no idea from the picture. And particularly there's two people, and this is sort of the point of this video, is they'll have two faces. So it's like the two faces on Facebook, and so there's two faces in the picture, and you sort of don't recognise either of them. Who's this? And it's some girl and her friend, and it's really common. It's really, really common. In fact, that's what triggered the video, is that looking at on Facebook at our private friends page, a whole page of it, and lots of them do the same thing. So it's two girls side by side looking cute, and you're flat out recognising which one. Oh yeah, that's I know her. Yeah. And because, as we mentioned on the other video, everybody in Japan, friends, everybody. So people have 500 friends on Facebook. So quite often it's some friend of a friend that you met once. So you're looking at the photo, thinking, who is this? And you look at the name on it, who is this? And then, oh, okay, I know who that is. There she is with her friend, you guys probably know already that the peace sign's really huge here. We did a video about it once before, and it's sort of common, isn't it? It's as soon as you take out a camera in Japan, everybody does this. But interesting, lots of people here will actually do this, which in some countries, hey, and here's one for your friend. Hey, so yeah, two girls on the hey, and so that's, the girls do it all the time, and it's hard. It's who knows why. I mean, it's partly shyness, possibly. It's interesting. There's probably a whole heap of reasons for it, but it's sort of interesting. The Japanese thing about nobody wants to sort of stand out. You guys would have heard before. There's a saying in Japanese: the nail that stands up gets hit down. So nobody wants to stand out from the crowd. And when you got something like Facebook, I mean, the whole concept of Facebook is supposed to be about the individuals, isn't it? So you can see what individuals are doing and so on. But people don't seem comfortable with that. They don't want to sort of have themselves featured on Facebook. It's funny, isn't it? I mean, totally understandable. But what's funny is joining Facebook and friending 500 people and then not wanting your face on Facebook or any of your private stuff on Facebook, it's like, well, it doesn't leave much, does it? And that's quite often the case. As we talked about in the other video, you end up with a page full of food, nothing else, or disguised faces with hearts on them and things. So it's a sort of a part of that. It's a sort of part of that, like we talked about on the other video, really. So that's why there's two girls there. And sometimes they'll have their names written. They write their name on each person. So, you know, here's Nana and her friend, you know, here's her friend with her, and writes her friend's name on there as well. Sometimes they do, and often they don't, which sort of baffling, isn't it, a little bit? Imagine that. And I was about to say, imagine if two guys did that. In actual fact, you do get guys doing it here too, standing there with their arms around their favourite male friend. You know, here I am with my best friend. And again, quite often, no idea as to who's who. So, and then occasionally, so that's, you know, a pair of girls will do it, or a pair of guys will do it, and occasionally a group of girls will do it. And then you'll get a friend request from some girl called Mina, or some girl called Nana or something, and you look, who's this? And you look at the picture, and there's 6 girls in a row. It's the avatar. It's actually the Facebook avatar is 6 girls standing there in a row, all jumping in the air at the same time, or something like that. And then you're looking at the 6 faces thinking, who do I know in this group? Why is this person sending me a friend request? I don't know this person. So then you've got to go to their page, and usually they're locked. You can't actually see their page unless you friend them already. So it's baffling. It really is baffling. It's just, and it's so distant, becomes so distant too, with this friend of a friend of a friend thing, that quite often it's just not worth it. Doesn't matter. That's why on our private Facebook pages we've got lines of friend requests from friends of friends and people we don't know, with these animated faces and these groups of friends standing around. Who are these people? Who are these strangers? So, but anyway, the point of this one was just that two-face thing, because it's funny. It's just like two faces on Facebook. Facesbook. Two faces on Facebook. Baffling. Probably deserves to be on our Odd Stuff in Japan playlist. More videos coming soon.